to our campus ministry show. I'm your host, Miss Cybulski, and I am so excited. Well, that was a very high for you to be here with us today. So, we're wrapping up the end of the school year, which is crazy. We're almost done with 2022-2023 school year. Wow, and summer's coming. That's amazing. I'm super excited for summer. Just gonna have a great time, gonna have a blast. I hope that you do too. But before we get to summer, because it's not summer yet, I'd like to invite one more special guest on our show this year. So this man, you've probably seen him around the building. You might have not known who he is, but he is our building facilities manager. And he's the one that's always around, mowing the lawn, fixing this classroom, dealing with this issue. My favorite thing is sometimes you just see his legs from the ceiling because he's doing something with wiring up in the tiles. I don't even know what he's doing. And I'm like, what? There's a man sticking out of the ceiling. How did that happen? After many years of working at Lancaster Catholic, he is now retiring. And this is Mr. Cavender. He is an amazing, faith-filled, spiritual man. So I just wanted him on to chat for a little bit. So without further ado, Mr. Cavender. Hello, Mr. Cavender.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
That's wonderful.
Beautiful morning this morning.
It is. It is a good day. So, happy early retirement,
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
A little bittersweet.
I was wondering if it had a little bit of that. So how long have you been working at Lancaster Catholic High School?
Roughly 14 years.
14.
Yeah.
Okay. And how did you start? Okay, I think I got your official title correct, but what is your official title here?
Facilities director.
Oh, I think I made it sound more impressive than that.
Yeah.
I made you sound like the big shot or something. And how did you start working at Lancaster Catholic?
It was a little unusual. I didn't really know I was going to have a job here. But at the time, I was a stay-at-home dad.
Okay.
And my wife and I decided to do that. And anyway, our youngest was going off to kindergarten, first grade.
So you had more free
first
time.
grade, yeah. Well, and I was trying to figure out what the next step was in my life.
Yeah.
And I got a call from Dermot Garrett, and I thought one of my boys were in trouble, so I didn't know. But anyway, I showed up, and he offered me this job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was totally out of the blue.
And you've just been here 14 years since.
It was, I always felt like it was inspired that God wanted me here, and here I am.
Yeah. Well, and what, I've noticed you hanging out of ceilings. I've noticed you in classrooms. So what exactly do you do as facilities director?
It's a big job.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. You start with the building itself. We roughly have 175,000 square feet here. So it's the roofs, the exterior, the windows, all those kind of things, the doors. And then you get into things like the mechanicals, the plumbing, the heating, all those things. And then the network, we support, not all of it. We don't do what Joe and Todd do, but the wiring and things like that. And then you get into things like energy, managing the energy, purchasing it, trying to save it, trying to be a good steward.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going, vehicles and then lawn care, and then we have the athletic facilities, so it's...
Oh my goodness, I forgot about the stadium.
Taking care of the fields, learning how to paint lines.
Hey, now that we have turf, you don't have to mow the turf.
No, but we still have...
Other things with the
There's
turf.
a lot of fields over there. It's
I
still
would say,
about,
actually you have that the entire baseball, soccer, whatever field that is.
Yeah, so it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a couple things.
Right.
Here or there.
Right.
And do you enjoy it?
I love it.
Good.
I love it.
Good.
It's a perfect fit for my personality.
So thinking about you working and the school and how somehow, I don't know how you do it, somehow your faith comes into your work. And knowing that a lot of our students going off this summer, they're gonna get jobs, they're gonna start working. Some of them have very manual labor jobs like you do. Others, might just work at Rita's or something like that. How do you integrate your faith into your work? Sorry, that's kind of a big, hefty question I just threw at you.
It is a challenge, but you have to learn to change your perspective.
Okay.
I always saw my job as a vocation.
Oh, okay.
So it's the skills that God gave me, and God calls us to use those skills to be a good person in the world and to promote His message. I view my work as not just doing work, especially here. It's much more to create a space where education can happen. If I can keep it clean and bright and shiny and working well, the teachers can teach better, the students can learn better, and hopefully it has an impact on their life.
I think what you mentioned about vocation versus job is really important, because I think, like you said, it changes your whole perspective of what it is. Okay, I'm not just doing this in order to make money, to pass the time, to have a job, but I'm doing this because God called me to do this. And how that just like makes that big difference.
It does, and you start to see how it changes people's lives, you know, and you see the opportunities that come up.
Yeah.
And if you can embrace it, it gives you a much better purpose for what you're doing every day.
And I bet, you know, with those small summer jobs that students have, I feel like you could find how those are a vocation in their own little way.
Yeah, I agree. It's God gives us time and talents.
Yeah.
Right? And no matter what you're doing, you can find that purpose in it to express your faith. You know, so if you're working a cashier job at Rita's or McDonald's or whatever, you still are engaging with people.
Yeah.
And you have an opportunity to, you know, kind of be Christ to them.
Yeah, as you said that, I was like, wow, it's your opportunity to show them Jesus, you know, and to be like, this is how Jesus loved, you know, just the random person that he was there for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so also while you were talking, it made me remember sometimes how difficult your job can be. Not just in like the manual labor, like, yes, that's probably like to move all the desks out into the hallway over the summer in order to clean the entire room, and then, let's move all the desks back in. Also thinking about people, like, I mean, again, students maybe have seen you throughout their years here, but they don't exactly notice you unless there's something wrong. I know that many faculty and teachers don't call upon Mr. Cavender unless this is broken. Why is the phone's not working? What's wrong with this? Oh, our setup for our assembly isn't right, you know? Yeah. So how is it that you, or how does it make you feel? What are your thoughts behind you only get noticed when something goes wrong? If everything goes right, nobody's like, oh, thank you, Mr. Cavender, thank you.
But that is my goal. My goal is exactly that. If everything is right, then Lancaster Catholic is just rolling along,
just going,
working great, and because distractions take away from the whole process. So my goal is to keep that going without the distractions.
Yeah.
I think teachers are just such better teachers when they're comfortable and relaxed and not worrying about, oh my goodness, this isn't working. Yeah. It's so frustrated. It's been bothering me.
Yes.
So if you can remove that, it's part of the process. Okay. So.
Yeah, I'd say that takes so much humility. I don't know if I could do that. The idea of like, oh, look at all of this I just did. Now pretend you don't see me. Right. Yeah, maybe our personalities clash, or maybe I need to work on that a little bit.
Well, I think it's just how you're designed, you know? So, don't get me wrong, I like the little slap on the back and good job, that feels good. But that's not what drives me.
I feel like, especially with the jobs that maybe our students are working over the summer, it is taking that act of humility that you're not going to get a thank you for everything. You're not going to go, wow, you're amazing, you're wonderful. And it's a beautiful way to grow in that humility, you know? Yeah.
Well, that servant mentality is what Jesus taught us, I think.
That's true.
You know, for me anyway, that's the model I see.
This is
that, he was just a servant. I love St. Joseph. He's my big role model. So he was kind of a quiet guy behind the scenes, just making things happen. And, Because of him, though, everything was able to fall in place. Mary was allowed
That's
to
true.
get where she needed to be, and
What she needed to
Jesus was kept safe, and
do. Yeah.
you know, all the things that you don't notice or don't think about too much.
Right,
So,
it's all Joseph.
yeah, I really like Joseph.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, to kind of wrap up this episode, I think big takeaway for our students is for your summer, as you go into your summer, whether you got jobs or you're just like at home, how can you, one, show Christ to other people, and two, how can you be like Christ as a servant leader? How can you serve in your job? How can you serve in what you're doing? Whether that's in your job at Rita's, at McDonald's, working a landscaping business, or if that's at home, you know, with your siblings, with your parents. Well, thank you for coming on our show.
Oh my gosh,
Mr.
thank
Cavender.
you.
It's a blast to have you here.
Well, I enjoyed it. A little out of my comfort zone, but
But I'm glad
you were
you're
a
here.
gracious interviewer.
Oh, thank you. And happy retirement,
Thank you.
or early retirement,
Yeah.
and all that. And, well, I mean, we'll see you around somewhere,
Absolutely.
I assume. So
I don't plan. This is my home.
It is. You
Yeah.
belong here. So
Yeah.
until next time, see you guys.
See ya.
Bye.